All right, welcome back to Triple B Movie Reviews, video number 20, I believe, or 19.
Beats hell out of me.
20, because 20.
I'm not in charge of keeping count.
Where we talk about
beers,
which we don't have.
Yeah.
Beards.
And B movies.
And today we have Residue.
Yes, we do.
This movie was Netflix. I found it on Netflix, and I'm going to go up front. This is one of those I just picked. You know, we both watched it. It centers around a guy by the name of Luke Harding, who's a detective, private eye, who
and for B movies, now this is a B detective.
Yes.
This is not a top flight guy.
If you watched the review for The Ghost from the Machine, he reminds me a lot of that guy.
Really?
Very similar in the way they act. I should probably look. I wonder if it was the same guy.
It could have been.
Could have been. So anyways, he is down on his luck, kind of, like he said, a B detective, and he ends up taking a job from a guy called Mr. Fairweather, who has a package he needs delivered.
And he was a recognizable actor.
Yes.
Yeah,
he used to be Max Headroom back in the day.
He's an interesting guy.
For you younger crowd, that was a show.
Yeah.
So he ends up taking this. He initially has to follow a bunch of people at the very beginning.
Right.
Had one guy he couldn't find anything bad on, and they end up telling him he's got to send this package to this guy.
Right.
And they end up getting attacked, which when we talk about favorite scenes and least favorite, that would play into it. But he ends up getting shot at and takes the package back home. The drop goes south, and he's like, I'm playing this game. Opens it up. It's a book. The book's interesting in that when he reads it, you can't stop reading it.
Yeah, it pulls you into the world of the writer.
But you can only read it so far. And then when you stop, you can't remember the stuff that happened before it. So to read the whole book, you have to sit and read it all at one time. And then through the movie, he starts seeing things. And then, at the end, spoiler alert, it turns out that the book is like a review of your life, basically, is the way I took it. And if you face your inner demons, you succeed and move on. And if you don't, you die.
I did not catch all that.
Well, at the end, the girl who also read part of the book,
right,
and the guy end up facing each other without facing. They're like, because he's a demon when she's talking to him, and when he's talking to her, she's a demon.
Oh, yeah.
And he confesses that he left because of a certain thing, and she confesses that she stole. They keep showing scenes of her stealing his keys.
Yeah.
And you find out in the movie that that's not her. He's not really her dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they confront that at the end, and then the guy that plays the chain smoking guy in X-Files ends up being the bad guy throughout, and that entertained the hell out of me. So, but yeah, that's the plot. What did you think of the movie? What was your positives?
Well, it was pretty well done. It was interesting. It was kind of like we were saying before we started this. It was kind of like John Dies at the End. It kind of skips around, and it takes a lot to figure out.
Now, the timeline doesn't skip
is going on. No, the timeline doesn't, but yes, it does. Because if you'll recall, in the early part of the movie, that scientist guy gets killed.
Yeah, that's true.
Then at the end of the movie, where our main character has finished the book, and the guy that owns it picks it up, he hands it off to that guy.
Well, he hands it off to a different guy. But in the movie, Luke actually meets that guy at one point and talks to him. And then, because the very first scene is the guy, the doctor.
Yeah.
The doctor ends up getting killed. He stands up, in the whole thing, if you're reading the book and you stand up, this scythe blade comes in and hooks you right through the back of the neck. Yeah. So yeah, I guess there was some kind of time travel weirdness in there.
It was a convoluted.
So how does that work into your positive?
I didn't say that was the positive.
Okay. Well, what was your positive?
I can't quite say. It was one of those that was interesting all the way. Kept me just fascinated. But then I didn't think there was enough explanation at the end.
It did leave you, like, you can do some inferring, but yeah.
You had to.
Where did you watch it, by the way? Did you watch it just online?
I think.
Because I watched on Netflix.
I think Putlockers where I found it.
What was your negative?
That there wasn't any, what was the motivation of this guy that owned the book? Why did he keep wanting to hand it off to other people to read?
I mean,
it was kind of a big deal if you made it all the way through and read the book. That was a big deal.
Yeah, because he was monitoring everybody that was reading it.
And he gave them a cash reward because they finished the book.
Yep.
But he never explains. They never say anything about what his motivation is, why he's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
There's people getting killed trying to do it. So that was
well, and the doctor that got killed at the beginning of the book was getting ready to get shot by one of this guy's henchmen, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, he was coming after that book because that guy had.
Apparently, the book doesn't like violence. He doesn't like aggression. Was the way he put it.
Yeah.
So, in that situation, and Mr. Viango, I think, is the one that was the actual guy that kept handing the book back out. So your negative is that it was
I thought if they had explained that at the end, that might have propelled it to greatness if there was something really neat that was going on there.
Yeah, because in the book,
as it was okay, but you ended up wondering, well, why the hell do we do this anyway?
If you listen to the story, it sounds like there's an alien type situation where, people are dying and he's got some kind of alien when you're listening to the story. My positives, my favorite part, I had two favorite parts. The fight scene between Luke and the two guys that are trying to get it and the wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
There was a where the wrestler's like flipping the guy on the car and he's getting ready to die and he's like, put my sunglasses on, and Luke puts them on. He's like, oh, I look good.
Yeah, he was kind of.
I like that scene. And then when Mr. Fairweather has his face blown off.
Yeah, and then he keeps talking on the phone.
Yeah, he's dead, and he's calling him. Which,
And like all he's got's the lower jaw. Everything above is gone. And his tongue's hanging out there.
It's funny because they played off like anybody who's not Luke or Mr. Fairweather just hears flies. Like they call and all they hear is the flies. And at the end of the movie, before he goes into like the final scene, one of Fairweather's henchmen, or the big bad guy, comes in and he's on the phone and they take the phone from him and they're like, what the hell is he doing with this?
Yeah.
So that'd be my positive. My negative would be that they played it off with the daughter coming in and seeing the book, and I really expected something bad to happen. I expected her to die.
Well, could have.
Something. But
could have, because he didn't want her to protect her, because it was dangerous to read this thing.
This is if you look at an IMDb, it is classified as an action horror thriller.
Really?
Yes. And in my opinion, it came off with way too happy of an ending. That was my one complaint.
What's wrong with a good ending now?
Not a good ending, a happy ending.
Well,
it's in the end of the book,
he got the girl, and
he got the girl. The daughter lived. He got money.
Yes, that's good stuff.
The all the people that were bad guys died.
Being everything ended so happy, they should have thrown some boobies in there. Now, see, that might have boosted that rating. But go ahead.
It just came. Even at one point where the girlfriend is grabbed by the neighbor. And she's got the shotgun, and she's like, hey, you're a demon. You're going to be a demon. I'm going to have to shoot you, Let's have some tea. And the gun didn't go off when she went to pull the trigger, and they all ran out. Everything was hunky-dory fine.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So,
good stuff.
What is your overall grade for
2.
Residue?
Here again, this is a 2. Had a lot of good parts. Didn't quite come together to get to that
hook.
Greatness.
It had, other than the hook that stabbed him. Yeah. Other than that, I have to admit, it was one of those that I may watch it again. I'm not going to lie.
See if I can figure something out the second time through.
I'm going to go the 2 as well, but only because the ending was too fairy tale. I need, for it to be classified as a horror, there's got to be some hurt, some, you know, like Alien, where Ridley goes off by herself and everyone's dead, you know, something.
Wow.
Can't have everybody live out in the middle. You know, even Fairweather, that was a evil guy, you know, I mean, he died early on so that he wouldn't, if he had lived and was screwing with Luke through the movie, then I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us to the question of the day.
Oh, gosh.
It's by far his favorite part of the whole
Whip it out there.
All right. What is your favorite alien-based B movie?
Alien-based.
Mm-hmm. Obvious one would be we did Bad Taste.
Well, that was alien-based. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. That was really good. I don't watch a lot of alien-based, you know.
So we need to start doing that. We need to find us a couple alien-based movies.
Maybe we can find a Bigfoot versus aliens.
No, Lord Almighty, it's probably out there.
I'm sure it is.
All right, mine's the same. I have to admit, I'm still.
Well, that was a good one.
We've only been doing videos for about 3 months now, and the shine has not worn off that one for me. It's one of my favorites. Honestly, at this point, I don't know that I can think of any B movie horror alien mix-ups.
No, I'm really not.
Top of my head that are really worth mentioning.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space, maybe.
I like Killer Clowns. We need to do that one at some
Well,
point.
that is our kind of thing.
Yes. So, got anything for us as we're heading out?
Yeah, bud. Keep your powder dry. Keep the shiny side up, and watch more B movies.